Hello and welcome back to the second video. The first video that I did here got a good number of views and my subscriber count also went up by a lot. So thank you guys for showing the support and your kind words. So this is the second video, which is kind of an alternative that I'm testing to this weekly newsletter. So yeah, we're going to talk about Bitcoin as always. Take a look at it from a daily time frame and then take a look at it on a 4-hour time frame, probably even lower time frames, to see if we can or if there is any trade opportunities. So to summarize what we discussed in the last video, I spoke about this bearish breaker here, which extends from roughly 41k to 45.2k. The last time we discussed this, Bitcoin price was also piercing through the upper limit of this breaker, but since then the price is closed below the breaker's upper limit and is also kind of showing some sort of a swing high forming here. So I'm expecting price to comfortably go lower, right? And yeah, so that's what's happening here. Let me just move on to a lower time frame, right? So in yesterday's tweet, I pointed out that I'm looking at this bullish breaker, right? But before I actually get into this particular setup, I just want to inform you guys on what a bullish breaker is and how we can trade that. So a bullish breaker basically consists of a lower low, which kind of creates an illusion that it's in a downtrend, right? But the price suddenly creeps up higher, at least higher than this bullish breaker, and then we enter long at the retest of the bullish breaker, right? A good example would be this one here, which is Solana. Is it Solana? Yeah, it's Solana, right? So in this one, price forms a lower low, which produces a market structure break. And then we look at the demand zone formed here in between these two troughs and enter long at the retest of this particular retest of the bullish breaker. So basically that's how a bullish breaker works. Back to what's happening here is we've seen a lower low form here on 30th Jan and somewhere around 3rd Feb. This lower low, we mark out the demand zone here. So the price has already breached through this demand zone, flipping it into a bullish breaker. All we are waiting now is a retest of this bullish breaker so we can enter long. Right, and also if you look at this particular upswing, it collected liquidity resting above all these swing highs over here. So now is a really good point for it to take a U-turn and then go lower, which kind of adds more credence to this bullish breaker thesis. So assuming Bitcoin comes down here, which is where I would be entering long, I would probably take profits around 44.4k and partial profits around here, and then the rest could be somewhere around here. So let me just mark it out. So these are the two levels where I would be taking profits. Let me change the color so it's visible. Right, so 44.4k, 46.1k is where I would be booking profits. Right, so this is a minor long opportunity that I'm looking at. So for now, I'm not going to trade or enter any long positions for altcoins. I'm going to wait for a retest of this particular breaker, which is when I would be scoping out a lot of altcoins to enter long positions. So that basically sums up this video session. There's not a lot to go on, except that on the daily time frame, I am still bearish because of this bullish breaker that we see here. So until and unless we get a daily candlestick close above the $45,236, I am still of the opinion that we are going to revisit 30,000 psychological barrier, probably even dip below 28,815 to collect the liquidity resting below these lows. So that's about it. That sums it up. If you enjoyed this session, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any doubts, just tweet at me on Twitter at Mangyako with a 0 at the end.